Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another video from TW White & Sons Mazda. We've taken this CX3 in part exchange. Late yesterday evening, we collected it from the customer's house and delivered their new car. And we're delighted to have it in our used car offering. This is a 2-litre Sport Nav in ceramic silver, and this has the stone leather interior, which is a bit rare, to be honest, and I like a little bit of rarity, and I do like the lighter interiors, but obviously that is a personal preference. The ceramic silver, now the sun's just gone in, so this won't be is actually like pearlescent-y, I can't say that word, pearlescent-y paint. So, oh, hold on, look, I don't know if you can see this, but it does sparkle, okay? I like the colour. But once again, a personal preference, but it's just one of those colours that are a little bit different. Now, as we walk around the car, hopefully you can appreciate the wonderful condition this car's in. We've literally given it a quick clean, okay, but it's come out beautifully. This was supplied and serviced by the Hendy Motor Group. Hendy's are a large dealer group who have Mazda, okay, mostly on the south coast, I believe. And it was supplied by them from new. And the second owner, being our customer, bought it from them. She's always had it serviced with them. I checked this digital service record, okay, and it was last serviced at Hendy's down in Sussex, because the lady lived in Haywards Heath. It's done about 22,000 miles. It done it was close to 20,000 miles. So it was serviced 3,000 miles ago in February this year. Okay, so it's a well looked after car, all right, lovely condition, rare spec. A lot of these were black and red. I'll be honest, I'm a bit bored of the black and red cars. So the ceramic, I think back in 2016, was more of a daring colour, so there weren't so many sold. I think you'll find now that ceramic colours are far more popular. People are a little bit more open to the non-traditional colours. Now, I'd like to be as transparent as possible in the videos, and I just want to point out a few imperfections, which I will have resolved. There's a tiny little, look, you can hardly notice it, little mark on that wheel. The rear wheels are absolutely fine. And there's a tiny mark, I think, on this one. Yep, there's a little graze there. So that will be done in the next couple of days, okay? The rest of the car, superb. Now, it's done about 22,000, I think I mentioned earlier, and it's the Sport Nav. So let's start around the rear of the car. So the Sport Nav has the parking sensors at the rear, but also has a parking camera. Okay, there's a camera there, all right, and I'll show you that in more detail when we get in the car. Now, CX3s aren't known for their huge boot space, but I have a 2.5-year-old. I can get a pushchair in, and a few of the other bits and pieces, but I say it's not got the most enormous boot. But I think if it was going to be a family car, yes, it is family friendly, and you have the ISOFIX anchorages, okay, in the rear seats there. So the two outer rear seats have ISOFIX anchorages. Look at that interior. How wonderful is that? Now, being the Sport, you've got the premium sound system by BOSE. You've got the original overmats in the back here. Don't know why my valets have put them there. And then you've got this space here where the BOSE speaker lives. Okay, or if you wanted a spare wheel as an accessory, we sell like this sort of foam surround, and one of the Space Saver spare wheels would live here. But as standard, the cars come with the IMS kit, you know, so the pump and the sealant, which I don't think anyone really uses. You've got a 60-40 split rear seat, and the parcel shelf comes out. Okay, so there we are. Now, this is a part of Mazda's SKYACTIV range of cars, which they all are now. We've got SKYACTIV-X, SKYACTIV-V, SKYACTIV-G. Basically, this has a 2-litre engine. Now, traditionally, a car like this would probably have a 1.6 engine, but Mazda, now I'm going to sound really cheesy, slogan is to defy convention. Mazda said, look, do you know what? We're not going to make small engines with turbos. We're going to make bigger engines, but make them more fuel efficient and emit lower CO2. which they did. Now, for example, the Mazda 3 manual of this year with a 2-litre engine, the same engine, would only be £30 a year road tax, to give you an idea of how efficient they actually are. This one being the SUV, I think it knocks it up a tax band. I think this is like 150 or 155 a year. Now let me show you around the back of this one, this side. So all in great condition. Okay, it was a young lady. She didn't have a family, and I'm not. This isn't saying anything against families. It's not had a hard life. A lot of these sort of cars tend to have kicked back seats and scuffs and bits and pieces where you have young children. I know when I put my son in a car, he's always kicking the backs of the seats and bits and bobs. But this is a very, very lovely car. There's no disagreeable odours, shall I say. I couldn't see any dog hair. My valeter, he always gets very upset when he's presented a car with dog hair. But it's a very, very lovely car. I'm not a smoker myself, and I don't detect any cigarette smell either. Now, being the Sport, you've got the keyless entry. So when you've got the key on your person, you press this button and the doors will unlock. Okay. You've got automatic on the driver's window, automatic down and up, and then electric windows all round. And you've got folding wing mirrors. You just turn this little dial here, turn it to the 6 o'clock position, and the wing mirrors will fold in. Now, look at these. If people are worried about, having white seats, look at this. It's all in lovely, lovely condition. I prefer when I can see the dirt, so I can wipe the dirt, rather than having like the black seats where you can't really see the dirt, so you can't really see what to wipe off, if that makes any sense. Right now, it's rather warm today, so I'm going to get the car started and put the air conditioning on. So, we've got 2 keys with the car, okay? Foot on the clutch, this lights up green, and the car fires up into life. Oh, turn that down. So you've got your heads-up display. That's adjustable through this. That will give you your speed, basic sat-nav function, arrows, cruise control, speeds, a few other bits and pieces. Now, it's flashing in the video, but it's not actually flashing in real life. It's just the resolution on my camera isn't that great. Remember what I said about wing mirrors? There you go, they will fold. Okay. Electric windows mirrors are here. You've got automatic wipers. You've got automatic lights. They're LED. They're incredible. I see more in the dark than I do in the day with these lights. Cruise control, speed limit. So you can set a speed limit. The car won't physically go over that. Volume controls, decline, receive a call, voice control. So you could say call home. I never do it because it doesn't like my voice. I always call up someone else. You can change your track, stations here. Steering column goes up, down, up, down. I was about to say in and out, just up and down. And the mileage, there it is, 22,712 miles. So no more than 4,000 miles ago, the car was serviced. All right. But it will go through our workshop, of course, because this will be a Mazda approved used vehicle. And we have to do a visual health, we have to do a proper health check on the vehicle, get it on the ramp, make sure everything's tickety-boo. You've got climate control, and I must say it's working very, very well. Nice and cold, okay. You've got heated seats, 3-stage. You've got USBs for charging and for reading data. This is your SD card for your sat nav, and this is a 12-volt socket for, I don't really know. I don't really have anything that uses that. Oh, actually, the little kit in the back for pumping up your tyres, that plugs into a 12-volt socket. And you've got a little auxiliary jack there. It's been years since I've used one of them. I'm not saying this car's outdated, of course, but it does support the older ways of doing things, but also the modern ways, which I'll come to in a minute. This is the Multimedia Commander. I call it the human interface, and this will operate this media unit here. Now, this is also touchscreen. However, this is disabled as a touchscreen once you start moving along. So I would suggest getting used to this, and it saves getting like fingerprints there on the screen. Now, applications, fuel economy monitor. So, for example, the car has averaged 39.2 mpg, which I think is pretty decent. That's at an average speed, look, of 20 miles an hour. So very, very good. If that average speed was higher, that would be that would go up significantly, because that only really indicates, you know, sort of slow, not so much long journeys, you know. Now the car's got I stop. It says it's not ready. Okay, now what that is, it is an intelligent engine stop start system, which will switch your engine off when you're in traffic, when you're out of gear, foot on the brake. So you don't actually need the engine. Everything else will remain on, heater, sat nav, radio, etc, etc. And the moment you go to move away, so put your car into gear, it will fire up into life. Now, it won't always be at its ready status, because the battery might not always be fully charged. The engine might be too hot or too cold. The air conditioning might be on. So there are, it's an intelligent system, because it won't switch off the engine if it's going to take more energy that you would have saved switching the engine off, starting it up again, if that makes any sense. Okay, so but it is a very good system. Ultimately will save you money, because it will use less fuel. Over here you've got traction control. Okay, it keeps you on the road best as possible. Tyre pressure monitoring. So if your tyre pressure is full 4 psi or more, it will flag up a little symbol on this dash. Where will it flag up? There, did you see that flash? I'll do it again. There you go. But that will stay on constantly, and that will let you know one of your tyres is a little bit low, or flat, of course, but it will give you a bit of warning before it gets flat. Now the great thing about that is, if your tyre is 4 psi down on where it should be, it may not look flat, it may not feel soft or look soft, but it will affect your handling, it will affect your braking, and it will affect your fuel consumption. So it's a handy thing to have. You've got lane departure warning. So if you were to veer out of a lane, turn that air conditioning back on. If you were to veer out of a lane without indicating, the car will warn you by a bleep or a rumble, just to say, pay attention. Now, the reason they've got that there is it might really irritate you, so you can just turn it off by pushing the button or going into the settings on here. Of course, with my driving, it would never happen, because I always indicate when coming out of a lane. Right, so climate control we've covered. 6-speed manual gearbox, nice and positive feel. Okay, definitely feel the DNA of the MX-5 there. Let's go into here now. Oh, go back to this. So fuel guidance, maintenance guidance, you can set reminders, etc. Now you can actually upgrade this to Apple Carplay, Android Auto. It comes as a pair. So whether you have an Android phone or an Apple phone, you can have, as I say, your apps projected onto here. Okay, so you could use Spotify, Google Maps, Waze, and WhatsApp, I believe, and lots of other apps, but in a sort of driver restricted mode. Okay, so our new cars have it as standard. You can get this on here. If it's normally £350 as an upgrade. If you do want to buy it with the car, we'll work you out a discount on that accessory. Okay, so music. The car's got FM, AM, DAB, AHA Stitcher, internet channels run through your data. I've never used them. Bluetooth, so anything on your phone you can stream once your phone's paired up, which is probably the most common source of music these days, especially if you have Spotify, or if you're like me, I like to listen to documentaries and whatnot that I've fallen asleep watching the night before on the way to work, and you can listen to it through the stereo. And then you've got your USB 1 and 2, which you can also read data. Now DAB, I think, is a fabulous thing. I think it's here to stay, and sooner or later I think a lot of FM channels will be switched off. I heard of a couple being switched off the other day, but on here there's something for everyone, I'm sure, from anywhere around the world, any genre of music. It gives you so much selection, so there's always something to find on there. So once you have paired your phone up, you've got your call lists, dial call, missed calls, contact diary, and if you have an Android phone, it will read your text messages. My friends found that very amusing when that feature came out. Navigation, it's got a very comprehensive sat nav system. Find address, go to town, put your postcode in, and off you go. Once you're en route and you need to find a place, for example, I'm always looking for petrol stations when I'm picking cars up, because they've never got any fuel in them. And it'll tell you where they are, the make, the company, the direction, okay? And if you set up a Wi-Fi hotspot from your phone, so the car is connected to the internet, it will also have fuel prices, and it will give you live traffic updates amongst many other things. Right, so we're now 15 minutes in, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. I hope I've still got your attention. Settings page, you can adjust this heads-up display. I think I mentioned earlier, it's adjustable from here. You can change the brightness and other bits and pieces on this page here. Let's have a look. Display, you can turn that display off, show clock, etc. Other bits. Safety, smart city braking, so there's a camera up here. If you got too close, well, if you went to collide with a car, a person, that wall for example, and the car felt you weren't intending on doing it, so you weren't turning, you weren't braking, you weren't accelerating, the car will actually put its brakes on, like emergency brake for you. Now, it's actually happened to me, not with a car, but with a wall, as I've approached the, gone into the dealership, and we've got a low wall at the back, and I've probably been a little bit careless, and it's put on the brakes, so it saved me from hitting a wall. But on the launch, I actually had to drive at a cardboard cutout of a person, put my hands on my shoulders, and go towards the cutout, and it does apply the brakes. Only works under, I think, 19 miles an hour. And the great thing is, because a lot of accidents statistically happen at such low speeds, insurance companies recognise this feature, and it should reflect in your premium. Okay, lane departure we've covered. Sound is amazing, and it's BOSE. Okay, need I say more? But BOSE are a premium sound system, and this is a bespoke system made for this car. The clock is GPS synced, so you never have to learn how to do that again. And in these vehicle settings, you've got some nice features. For example, door lock. I've just set this now, and I've put the volume up. Now, what that'll do now is when I walk away from the car with the keys on my person, when I'm about 2 steps away from the car, you'll hear a bleep in high volume, and another bleep, and the car will lock itself. So I've activated the walkway lock. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, I can lock my car myself, but I used to think like that. But when I've got my 29-month-old son in one hand, I've got the dog lead in the other, and some shopping in one of the hands, and I'm trying to get away from the car, it's one less thing I need to do, and I know it's done. So I think it's a great feature. Let's go back now, and then you've got these lighting features I like. You can change the times for the interior light. Look, if the door's left open for 30 minutes, now you can change this timing. The lights will turn off, save you getting your flat battery. When you close the door, the interior light will turn off after 15 seconds. It's got adaptive front lights. Remember I mentioned the lights earlier, so they're amazing. They turn as you turn. As I say, you see more in the dark than you do in the light with these. And you've got like coming home light, leaving home light, so your lights will stay on for 30 seconds when you've locked the car in the dark, to make it whilst you get to the front door. And when you open the car at night, it will stay on till you get in the car, to give you safe passage really. So there's loads and loads of features here. Okay, the car's got great connectivity, even for a 5-year-old car. It's comfortable. It's got a dashing interior. It's in beautiful condition, and it's got a lovely service history. If there's any more videos or photos you'd like me to send you that are more specific, don't hesitate to ask. The car will come with a 12-month warranty. It's a Mazda warranty. Okay, you're buying from a Mazda dealer. And part exchange is extremely welcome, even if you don't have a Mazda or a Suzuki. It won't affect the sort of deal you get or anything like that. Part exchange is extremely welcome. And we are very, very competitive. So, do try, getting your online valuations. I know there's a lot of them out there. I keep seeing them advertised. And then give us a go. And we like to treat people fairly, and we like to try to make the experience as seamless as possible. Do inquire any time of day. We do appreciate people are often looking at cars outside normal working hours, and we do pick up our emails, voicemails, etc. We have great finance facilities. Obviously, please inquire, and we have the facility to extend the warranty to up to 3 years. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Okay, and and we look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.